Garbage.
Um,
Just go record whenever. Yeah.
I might also put a crosshair on.
You not record. Okay.
I can record it for you if you want.
Oh yeah, if you can, that'd be great then. And then just, I guess, send me the videos of recordings.
I can upload it to my YouTube channel then.
yo,
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
YouTube-montage. Wat tak, joh?
Garbage. Or do you see me going garbage? Oh, okay. That's fine.
Something I can do as well. I do have a few of my like Div 1 games I recorded, which we won with comms. Because what's his name? Cactus wanted to have. I forgot to upload them actually. I've got like one of my games uploaded, which was Product.
Okay.
I could send you all of the links when I upload every single one.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Because your team might find it more helpful because every single person on that roster, except like maybe one person, has like Prem experience. So
Okay, that'll be fine. I think I wouldn't mind that either.
anyways, I'm gonna record now.
Yeah, we kind of sort of rolled them before. Ignore heavy when he looks like he's going on top of left side. He comes back. Don't worry.
I'm not sure about these traps though, but I guess your demo is running DX11.
Mission begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to do that. That sniper should have died, but your sniper dies here, so you gotta be careful. Your demo, oh that's unfortunate. Your demo should have killed that sniper. Like if the sniper stands right here, that should be like an easy kill for both your soldier and your demo.
Okay.
But your heavy dies, your scout dies. This is gonna be kind of tough. Your demo needs more help here. Because the problem, okay, yeah. So in this kind of situation, your team needs to not fear and hide in this corner because they're getting so much cap time. Like if that sniper died early on here, like there's a call from your spy that, hey, can you pressure here? He can decloak and he can stab someone. Because this is what spies should be doing, is they ask for a distraction, your team pressures, and then your spy gets a quick kill. And then that's how most teams hold first for a lot longer, because they constantly get kills. But now they have your soldier gets a kill or two. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go for that, but it's worth a try. It's a scrim. I would be very careful with this. You force them early, which is fine. You tank your pyro. Your sniper dies because he's alone. Okay. Your team needs to really turn around. But your sniper's dead. Okay, their sniper med dies there, so all you need to do is play passive and wait for your T to respawn. This demo can easily be killed if you're heavy could call that he's alone, and then your pyro can help him out. Yeah, it's running detonate, so soldier bombs in, your team peaks. Yep, that's a fine Uber. I would move that sentry further out so it covers tunnel. But at this point, you kind of just wait for them to do something. If you have full Adler, oh please don't. Okay. Something you can do, if you have full ad like this, and you're winning the DM fight, you can play it more aggressive around here, but obviously you're heavy some merc, so this wouldn't really work out well. Because what I would do is I would sit here as a heavy, my demo can peek this aggressive, and my sniper can peek this aggressive. And essentially what this does is, when you get Uber, you can use into them here. So most teams would kind of sit like around here, and then you can all peek from like this angle, and you can kind of collapse in them. And then if you can kill the med, you keep your ad rolling. But your med's building kind of slow, and your med dies. I want to see where your med was, because I didn't see him.
Mission 4.
Okay. Either there's no cause of the sniper, or your med just doesn't want to leave this. Because I feel like you guys could have got Uber a lot faster if your med was constantly building on people. But your heavy forces them, which is fine. But yeah, heavy dies. At this point, they're gonna have quite big ad if they build fast. Which they're not. But at this point, all you need to do is play aggressive and try and focus their sniper down, because the second that sniper dead, I'm hoping you guys peak aggressive as a team. Where's your soldier? He just spawned. Get a buff, you have crit hills. As a rule of thumb for anyone that rolls out and you just spawn, always call to your med, you have crit hills. Because this situation wouldn't happen if you had crit hills, because you can just jump up here and take control of this instead of having to fight this. And then this wouldn't happen. So ideally you get a buff and then you can jump on catwalk, and then your heavy can peek more aggressive because you're here. And then anyone that wants to go cart has to either deal with you, or yeah, they just have to deal with you. And then it saves your demo having to walk from here to deal with cart. At this point you can fight this, but you drop a lot of people. I want to watch that back, so I was too focused on what your soldier was doing.
Mission 4.
Because I really need to look at what Ubers are like. Okay, yeah. In this sort of situation, it shouldn't just be your demo peeking, like your pyro can peek as well. Like your entire team can essentially peek this together, because then the more bodies you have around your demo, the less chance that sniper has from just killing your demo for free. But it's kind of like, you either have to deal with cart. Okay, so they use, yeah. But this is something that I would suggest for your soldier, is anytime their sniper sits like here, like permanently, either your SWAT has to call to your soldier or anyone that can pressure to like, hey, can you like get a distraction or some shit, and then you can stab the sniper, or you stand here or like here and you fight into this crack. Because soldiers need to understand that sitting here won't really achieve much. Your ideal spot is to be around catwalk, because then you can deal with cart. You can also come along here, do stuff in house. You can also do stuff here. But where are you guys? Yeah, full ad. At this point, if I have full ad, because they use you didn't use, so now you have ad. I love. Okay, that shouldn't happen. I love taking my Ubers when I have ad through spiral and straight behind them. Because if I watch that back real quick. Because on defense, you should never ever be afraid to use your ad. Because the sole purpose of having ad is to keep it rolling, and that's how you get much longer times. So obviously in this situation, you need to back out, because obviously they're going to cap. And then, when my team regroups up here, like, look at this, you got huge ad, 70% ad, easy. When your demo gets it, okay, perfect. All you need to do is someone on your team calls, and they are like around here, like their med is in this area. Or if their med's in spiral, even perfect. Like all it needs to do is, you can have your entire team, like even your heavy can get involved with this. Like I get a call, okay, cool, we're going. Everything here dies. Even if the med doesn't die, you kill so many people. And then anyone around here will die. And you essentially scatter their spawns. But this is like a problem. Like, you still have Uber. Please tell me you're using your heavy. Cool. What did your med
In my
down?
defense, okay, I cornered him in that corner. The heavy moved out of the way and let him out, and I went monkey mode, got really mad, and chased the medic.
Okay.
If the heavy stood still, the med would have died.
But I'm like past that. But the other thing your demo can do, instead of standing here and perma-piping this, because your soldier can deal with this like perfectly fine, is a lot of demos like to stand here and they fire pipes into here. And I guarantee you, in lower div teams, fire 3 pipes around here and you're gonna kill someone every single time. And you can also trap this and trap this and this. So if someone does go monkey brain on you and just run at you, they walk into your traps. So that's something for your demo to think about. Because your soldier, again, like, can deal with this so easily. It's such a small door, and if someone does want to kill him, it's like, you can just grab a buff, fight people, grab a buff again. It's like, do something constantly. But now they have full Uber ad. This is very risky. Yeah, heavy. There's a pyro here. Unfortunate. I mean, you kill the med as well, and your med lifts. That's fine. You got the soldier up. Oh, never mind, man. Why would you drop down, cupcake? But what I was gonna say is, you can still hold upper even if your demo's dead, because all it takes is one explosive class to cover the other angle, and then another hit scan class to just stand up here. But if they are full Uber ad and you're a few people down, don't feel obliged to just sit up here, because good teams will absolutely molest you here. Like, if their soldier played this differently, and instead of just walking here or going through the other door, he went through like Harry Potter, I guarantee you, your pyro would be so like focused on this. Your heavy was also like here-ish. Their soldier would have looked past that, or either he would have killed all of you, and then your med would be forced to back out, and then either the sniper peeks us and kills you, and then it's like kind of fucked. But at this point, you can play aggressive. Sniper's dead. they use... You need to focus this. Okay. I don't know why your heavy wasn't shooting the demo when you can see him from here. But in that situation, if their demo is like on his own, your team should focus fire this person. Like once their demo's dead, it's so much easier to kind of keep people off cart because you don't have to worry about their demo just spamming cart or spamming up here and shit. But again, I don't know why your heavy's like looking up in the skybox when you can just see this. Because when they use Uber like this, and your heavy's in the god spot, you can just sit here and hide until post Uber. Or if someone's over here, you can shoot them. Like, yeah, sure, they will see where you are, but they'll probably know where you are anyway, because it's like, someone walking under would have seen you, and they would have called you. So. But apart from that, it's like, last was kind of decent. Your med lift here, but your soldier dropped down for some reason. Like, I understand cart, but it's like, you have the high ground, and high ground as soldier is so fucking good. So.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
But most of your holds were kind of alright. I think third could have been way better. But you need pressure on that sniper, and the only person that can really do that properly would be your soldier. Let's see a bit of action now, there's not much time.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
That soldier is 200.
5, 4,
Why does 3 people have such high ping? Okay. I'm not gonna question it.
I think the team we're playing against had 3 Americans, that's why.
You dropped the med, which is fine. I was gonna say, you should wait for your spider call where their med is, but that works out either way. At this point, I would try and save my Uber, if possible. And not feed in like that. Yeah, you're just feeding one by one at this point. Yeah. I mean, med dies again, which is fine. But you're not really focus firing. Yeah, okay. A lot of things went wrong here. In this situation, it's completely fine for all of you to, like, your med can just play back, and then you can just play around your sniper, and you can just shove people in, because they don't have heals, and they won't have heals if the teleport is dead. So, at this point, you play around focus fire, and if their sniper's called playground, you just send your flank onto playground. If their sniper's on hill, then you can kind of play on the right side and just play cart time. But I want to see how you deal with this. We got a pressure. Your spies in position. Okay, in this situation, when they're holding here, if both teams do not have Uber, you need to pressure as a team. Yeah, sure, their sniper's up, but the way you win this... I'm gonna let this play out first. Okay, he missed that, so... What I'm gonna say is, the way you fight this is your heavy can play here, he can play here. Both of these are completely fine in my opinion. And what you do as a team, it's risky as fuck, but you have to do this. Is your entire team has to walk forwards and take this ground. You need to get here and protect your med, and you pressure and you focus fire. Because what's going to happen, if you just start picking this one by one, their sniper's going to dome this shit out of you. And what you do is, you peek this together, one of you might die. That's completely fine, but hopefully your sniper gets the pick on their sniper, and then you play around him. If their heavy's inside tunnel, that's completely fine, because you can peek this as a heavy, and you can shoot through this like gap. Your demo can also put spam into here. But usually what happens is, I will ask for a buff here, as a heavy, get 450, and I won't let go of W. Like, their entire team is going to focus fire you, but you're going to give your team the space to kind of walk up, and then hopefully they continue to peek aggressive and focus fire the shit out of this area. But this is not really panning out well. Your heavy's there too, yeah. Your mid gets out, which is perfect. But yeah, that's what needs to happen, is people need to peak together. This is not going to work out. It's just two people, man. You need to wait for your team. Okay, you use, that's fine. Yeah, okay. If you get the exchange, that's fine, but the problem is, there's like no one in position. Like, you're not waiting for your team at all. Their med dies, which is good enough, but what needs to happen is you have pressure, and that pressure allows your spy to do stuff. And at the moment, it's literally like your demos should die here. Like, that scout on their team should have run across here and just botted into your demo for free. But now you have ad, which is good enough, but you just need to peak as a team. Like, this would have been fine. Like, if your heavy was walking across here, your spy came here and sapped the sentry, and then you all just walked forwards together. Like, you could have done this, like, way earlier. Obviously, your heavy was dead here. But that's kind of like the difference. It's just you walk together as a blob. Because at the moment, you're walking together in small little blobs. Whereas you're meant to be walking as, like, a fucking unit. But at this point, it's equal Ubers. What we do, team? We could wait for cart. We could try play around picks. You got soldier pick, which is good enough. Your sniper can go catwalk now. Yeah, heavy's on catwalk, probably gonna die. Yeah. At this situation, your heavy doesn't need to be here. He can wait for your sniper and get heals. But ideally, you wanna either try and play around cart heavily. What are we doing here? Yeah, okay. Okay. I blink and half their team's dead. Okay. That shouldn't have worked at all. If their soldier was here, you guys would have enforced Whaley, but he bombed to the ground. What you should do in that situation is try and push up here if you can, or if you want to do it the opposite way, you can play like here and just hard pressure cart and see if that works. There's so many like different ways you can do this, but ideally you guys should have pushed here. Your heavy can play in the cubby and wait for post uber, and then post uber comes, your heavy can peek out here with a buff, and then he can take elbow or he can fight here. It's entirely up to him. But now you have significant ad. What do? We just about get Uber. Use. Get kills. What? Why didn't you just focus on the demo? Okay. Doesn't matter. You got kills. All we need to do now is your demo's dead, which is not good. We can just wait.
I get backstabbed from stairs, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. Your demo dying here was not good at all. But I want to see where the rest of your team were. Because that Uber should have worked. But I don't know where the rest of your team was. Like, what it's called. Oh my god, man. something I'm also gonna say, be very careful about what you do here, because you don't have Uber and this could have gone way worse. Okay, so you guys go here. What does your demo die to? You have no one going through Spiral. Your demo... Okay, I don't know why you wanted to drop down there. You could have stayed up here, kind of got your grounding, and then your entire team can drop down together. But your demo dropping down alone was not a good play. Because you don't know if there's anyone in Spiral here. So what needs to happen, if your team has ad, your entire team needs to walk in. You need to have cart time. You need people coming through Spiral here. Like your soldier can just walk, he can waddle through here. Because I can guarantee you, someone is going to stand here in higher divisions or better teams. Someone will want to stand here. Like if I was the enemy heavy, I would stand here. If I knew you had ad, me standing here does nothing. I will die 100%. I will stand here, watch Spiral, or I can watch here. And then if you don't check this, I will just come through post and just fuck every single one of you up. What I'm gonna quickly do. Okay, I'm gonna quickly just talk about pushing last and third real quick. I'm not gonna go over it in like super big detail, but whenever you call Uber and your cart's like over here, what you should try and do is if your sniper can peek this first and you can have catwalk clear, so your soldier can just take a buff and he can clear this himself. Because I don't really like clearing this as a heavy, because peek through doorway when their soldier can just do this to me, it's like not fun at all. So what can happen, and this is what I do as like a combo, is we tend to try and take ground here. So when a sniper takes this shot and your sniper takes this shot, I try and get into the cubby as a heavy. So there's two ways I can do this. I can either stand here, fully revved, and then slowly walk up and walk in, or most of the time I stand here and then if I see the sniper's not looking or no one's looking, I stand here and then I'll walk in. And I kind of just sit here and wait. The rest of your team can just walk here and then you can use like either really early on if the sniper's still watching you. If he isn't, you can try and use pretty late. And if catwalk's free, like completely, and it's empty, you can use like around here. Because most times there'll be traps here as well, or there'll be traps here. And then when you do use, hopefully you have people on cart to like push it up. And against better teams, the sole purpose of these Ubers is to get time on cart. Against much better teams, it might take quite a few attempts to actually push the cart up all the way. That's completely normal. Against like Prem teams, usually it takes us 2 or 3 attempts. Maybe 2 if we're lucky, sometimes 1 if we have like a really good attempt and we get kills during our Uber, or we catch people off guard. That can happen. Your team was completely fine. No one on their team decided to pressure cart. Their soldier didn't sack in, or he didn't stand up here and pressure cart. So ideally, you don't ever want to take Uber on catwalk. That's just silly, because their sniper can just stand like right here, and he can just stand and wait. Their demo as well can see it coming, and he can just put traps there, and then he will just juggle you. So, and the other thing that can happen is their pyro decided to chase your demo off, but what their pyro should have done is either just focus on your med, and then they have Uber, add, and then they can take it into you. That's like the side problem of just walking so far in. So if I'm your med, try and say max beam. Because something that Layla did, which was terrible, is she ran like really far forwards. Yahoo realized this, and then pushed it into a corner here, and then suddenly they have ad. So that's what I would do if I were you in that situation where it's equal Ubers. The other thing you can do is just stand on tracks with your heals and just tank cart. And then if your demo's winning the spam fight, like heavily, you can just get the cart without using Uber. And in that situation, it's entirely up to them to try and defend cart as best as they can. Pushing last was alright. You guys got a few picks, but I think your demo got really greedy in this, so I would honestly wait until you have like 95%, because what could happen is someone here or their demo has like a trap here, or their demo has like traps here, here. Because I think by the time you got to like here, you just got Uber, and their scout was alone here. If their soldier was here, I guarantee you your med would have died, and that entire Uber, your entire ad here would have gone. So that's up to your demo. Like, even if the time was really low and you need to rush things, try and take it slow when it comes to Ubers, because it's better to have a really good Uber. Like, you can just stand here and just wait for Uber. Your heavy can kind of like stand close here if he wants, or your soldier can play here, or anything. And then you get Uber. People need to understand, when you have Uber ad, you don't just sit here and kind of wait for things to happen. Like, your cart pushers need to be ready to push cart. Other people need to be ready to either push through like the under. So if I'm your soldier, for example, there's two things I can do here. I can either push through spiral with my scout if he wants to come with me, and then we can clear upper and then we can go cart. Because if the cart's like here, usually this is the point where I can't push it anymore. I can tap it real quick, but apart from that, it's like I'm gonna suicide for it. So either your scout can come with your soldier, or he can come up here alone and clear this as you guys are pushing through this part over there. Or your soldier can just whip you guys so you're much faster. And then he has two options. He can go through Harry Potter, or he can go through this drop down. Most of the time, I see soldiers go through Harry Potter, just because it's more chaotic and it's more in your face. Because most people either want to go into this like room, or they want to go down Layla. So, but that Uber was pretty fun. Like, you guys you got a ton of kills. Your demo dropping down to sacrifice himself for their demo was kind of scuffed. Ideally, you can just call for every single one of your players up here to drop down. But the other problem was you didn't clear spiral. So that's like the trade-off. You either drop down instantly with your entire team and you don't die to this spy, and then you have more pressure to kill that sniper, or well, the spy that was on you. But ideally, what should have happened is your team Ubers in here, you're still Ubered, and then you have more people coming through here. Spiral's clear. Okay, now the entirety of this is clear. All you need to do is have someone clear the teleporter here. So either your soldier can stand here and kill it, or your demo can come down here, or literally anyone, like your pyro, your fucking NG, anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You can just detach yourself from the combo, kill it real quick, go back. That's completely fine. Then you all drop down, your demo spawn camps, your soldier goes top left, your heavy can either stand on the crates, or he can stand on the cart, he can stand here, he can either literally stand at their spawn. It's entirely up to you. Like, the world's your oyster. And at that point, you pressure cart, you pressure spawn, you win. So, but apart from that, oh yeah, and the other thing is pushing second. I want to talk about that. In this situation, when teams hold here, it depends on if you have Uber ad, or if you have Uber dis ad. If you have Uber dis ad, same situation, you want to pressure as hard as possible whilst keeping your med alive. You want to force their Uber and to make your med live. And the way you do that is simply just pressure. Like, your demo can stand here and just spam. And hopefully the damage is enough to force them. You back out as a team, your pyro doesn't sacrifice himself. He wants to like walk with your med. You hold S and you reflect. Some demos will realize that you're gonna have Uber soon. So some demos will literally sacrifice themselves for your med. You need to be aware of that as a team, and you need to kind of keep an eye on their demo walking in and their spy walking in. Because the worst thing that can happen here is your med dies, and then you reset it. Where now they have Uber out again, and you have to do the whole thing again. If it's equal Ubers, you want to either take an exchange, and the way you can do this is there's two ways. You can either take it through heal, which is completely fine, but you have to use it really early on because of the sniper. Or what I've seen other teams do is they kind of stand here, they gather their troops, and the soldier whips them, and they're very, very quick. And anyone here will die to them. And you want to go through here, and you want to use and try and force them. The second you get that force, none of your team members should be in. You should all be backing out. Because if all of you can live till post Uber, like the main people in this Uber should either be your scout, your demo, and your med. Your pyro can also be here as kind of like support. He can just stand here and make sure no one flanks behind. The second you get that force, you all back out. And you just go back hill. You regroup. No one feeds. Okay. Both Ubers are gone. Now it's a dry fight. And this is what I was going to talk about. When it comes to dry fights, you don't just stand here and let your sniper peek this for free. Because good snipers will have like their entire team in front of them. Like every single person on their team will be peeking. They'll be all pressuring this one sniper peeking. So what you need to do is you all get buffed. Your heavy gets buffed. So don't stand here because you'll take damage. Stand further back so you don't take damage and you get crit hills. You all get buffs and it's like a 3, 2, 1. Okay, we all peek together. Your med tries to stay behind your team. You get here and then you all pressure together. Your heavy says, hey, I can pressure now. Can we peek? Sure, we all peek together. And at this point, if I'm the heavy, I'm going to call focus fire. So their demo is probably sitting behind this rock, spamming me. Whereas my entire team here can take control of the flank. My spy can come in, stab the sentry. Suddenly their pyro might turn around, go for the sentry. Their engine's going to be so occupied with your spy. And hopefully at this point, the rest of your team just walks in. Your soldier can bomb in from either the cliff entrance, or he can also be in this fight. He can like stand up here and just spam people. He can come through side tunnel if he can. Like there's so many different ways. Or your soldier can just bomb in. Like there are so many ways we can fight this as a team. But the main thing to know about pushing, and this goes for every single point, no baiting. Doesn't matter what class you are. You walk in. Like, obviously when all of this is going on, you want to try and have some cart time. But usually, I think it's better to have like every single person on your team. Because the more people you have fighting, the better chance of you winning. Like, imagine a fucking 200 HP engine just walking at people. It's like, it sounds stupid, but you have a shotgun as well. You can do damage. You're a hit scan class. So essentially you overwhelm them, you win the DM fight, then the rest, then your cart people can get on cart, they can push up the way. Something I'm gonna say is when you push third, and even my team does this, and I have to tell them to slow the fuck down. Most teams will wipe them like on second, and they'll instantly, every single one will just push third. But they'll forget the spawn exists, and if you're slow at capping, some people respawn, and then they'll fuck you. So, something I'll do is I will have someone always watch the spawn. Your demo can stand here and just watch the spawn, whilst the rest of your team can be like, kind of here. Because if I'm the heavy, I don't need to watch that spawn. I can stand here, kind of sit here and head peek this. My pyro can watch the front, and that's basically upward. But, if there's any questions, just let me know. Okay.
No, I'm okay.
But yeah, hopefully upward is... It's kind of more difficult to explain things now that you're actually getting into like the tricky individual parts where now like people actually have like uber sad. But at the moment, your med's played pretty good. Like your med actually realizes, hey, my demo's dead. I'ma back the fuck out, and he lives. Like that's gold. Most meds that I've seen will literally stand there with their pyro against like an entire team just in front of them. So that's like a plus rep from me for your med. But obviously your heavy does some weird things, but he's a merc, right?
Yeah.
Well, the heavy here was a merc, yeah.
Yeah, so that explains a lot.
I
But
mean, speaking of which, are there any like heavy specific tips for?
Yeah.
I can give I'm main heavy. I can give you 1,000 tips. Like I can talk about heavy all day, every day. I'm gonna just say, where do you usually play? Like, do you play stairs? Do you play
I mean,
playground?
depends if it's called aggro or passive.
Okay. So you're doing a passive hole because most teams will just do passive.
Usually playground. I stick with
Do
the
you
sniper.
stand left or right side?
If I have the scout with me, I stand on the right side. If I'm
Okay, I'm gonna just say this: stand left side, regardless of anything.
Yeah.
Because if you stand left side, infinite ammo. Whereas if you play this side, you have to cross the sniper sight line. And you also don't get buffs as often because your med has to peek this. And there's a small little black thing here. That essentially means the second you can kind of see above that, your med can die or some shit like that. So usually I stand here so heavy, and every time I get crow hills I ask for a buff. Because if you stand here, it's really difficult for their spy to actually get onto playground because you're constantly shooting. Whereas if you're over here, you have to drop down. The only problem with playground when you see it left side is if the soldier stands right here, then you're kind of fucked, but that's
I mean,
the trade-off.
direct hit behind the rock on the left flank is also a bit painful since
If the soldier's just
this round.
shooting you, I honestly won't peek it as much then. Because I only realistically peek if I see someone like over here. If their soldier starts spamming me, I just don't peek it and I'll just say, hey, can someone fight this soldier?
Yeah.
I will probably have to spend another time to talk about heavy because there are so many small things that I know that will just help you like massively, but it's just there's too much to like explain right now.
No problem.
So if you wanna have the source knowledge, just hit me up. And it's product next, right?
Oh yeah, it's product next.
Product. My favorite map.
One.
Yeah, demo wins, that's fine. All you need is a call where the sniper is. Okay. If you know where the sniper is, like if he's in main, for example, the rest of your team can play very aggressive. Because the second that demo is dead, it's completely fine to call pure aggression. So your heavy can just walk forwards through caution, and then your rest of your team can just walk in together. Because that's what I would have done differently, is I would have honestly just walked together. The second their demo is dead and I see their med just over here, all we need is to call where their sniper is. Their sniper is dead, this is awesome. All we need to do now is protect our sniper. Please check that corner. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. At this point I would leave if I were you. Just leave. I'm gonna say this for your heavy. Anytime someone dies up here to a spy, it's either because you're not checking this corner or you're not checking this spot. Like, you don't need to like shoot this constantly, but every like now and then just fire once. But at this point, they have ads, but they won't have for a little while. So either okay, demo's dead. This is where I would rotate main and I would pressure point with your scout. Your sniper's dead, which is not good, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about. But this needs to be called like so early on. Your scout's dead as well, which is not great. But I'm gonna quickly just pause for a second. So when you lose a fight like that and your med dies, and you know they have bad, there needs to be a clear call before your med spawns, or if you're regrouping, on what you want to do. So in this situation, if I know my sniper can get picks, I will try and play around him, or I will go for a sack wave. So there's two things you could have done differently. Either gone cliff, do sack wave, but in that situation, they're not going to have Uber. So I would have honestly have just gone main and then pressured with my scout and just beat my scout in demo. And your sniper got the demo pick, which is really fucking good. So in that situation, if my scout just didn't die or feed, I would have beamed the shit out of him. And at this point, the only person that can kill your scout would be their sniper. Because he can just take his buff with beam, just edge cap point, and then the second he gets really low, he backs out, gets re-healed, goes again. And whilst all that's happening, your demo's making space for him to cap. So that's what you should have done differently. It could have gone a lot worse. Like, if their sniper was already looking at this angle, your med would have died crossing this. So this is something your demo needs to think about, or your main cooler, is you want to try and put your med in the best situation without having to cross this sniper sideline. So again, the second you spawn, it's like, okay, well, they're not going to have Uber. We don't need to do sack waves. We can just walk in, pressure, and try and give our sniper space. Or if your flank's behind, you can play around that. So their soldier's dead here. At this point, if their soldier's dead, I would try and get your soldier through connector to spam. And whilst all that's going on, you can try and cap point as well. They use... I'm not sure if this is not called... Like, if their demo is called a cross point like this, I'm gonna watch that back, 'cause I might have missed something. Oh, everyone's fucking... Okay. Okay, so sniper is dead. The second that sniper is dead, if I'm your heavy, peek aggressive. Even if you're not buffed. The second that sniper is dead, I want to peek aggressive. That Uber they took could have gone a lot worse. Oh, please don't tell me a demo dies there. Oh. People getting too greedy. When you have point, you don't need to go to their side of point. Unless your entire team's with you. But you're getting any pick from now on is like brilliant. Oh yeah, you get forced by a pyro. Focus fire. Where's the rest of your team? They're not there. I want to see how that pyro walked in and forced your med, because that should never happen. A pyro should not be allowed to just walk at your medic.
Our control point is being captured.
Yeah, in this situation, when they have point, you want to regroup. How does that pyro... Okay. In that situation, it's fine to just sit in spawn. Like, if you're not comfortable sitting here, you can play it a lot further back. Or, again, you could just run back to spawn. But what should have happened is the second you realize this fight is over, either your team needs to sack in to get any kill they can to kind of equalize the situation, or you just back out and don't feed. Because 3 people on your team fed and they didn't get anything. Their Pyro's dead. Yeah. Your demo needs to kind of not overextend. If you don't know where the sniper is, you can just stand here and just spam. Or just put traps on point.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
So at this point, you need to try and force them. Yeah, okay. What should have happened here is you get buffs and then your team sacks in. Or, again, you don't always have a default cliff. A lot of teams will default to main because then you get to see more. And if people are like hiding in China, you will see them. And it also makes it easier for your med to just back out. Because if they use, again, if you're on cliff, their demo will just bomb over. But one of the biggest problems I've seen at the moment is your team feeds when they don't need to. Like, if you have point, you don't have to feed. You don't need to go for these 1v1s. They are the ones who need to fight you. If the sniper's dead, or you have full Uber red and you have a call, they're in pocket, like their med's in pocket, it's fine to take that Uber into them. But you need calls of where their sniper is so your demo just doesn't get fucked by that sniper. And if they're called caution, your heavy should peek this with your team. Because any team that wants to dry fight caution should get absolutely munched by a heavy here. Because what happens is your team says, hey, they're caution, your demo starts spamming this. If you're buffed as well, I peek this and anything here will just die to me. But somehow they didn't get Uber in time, like at all. But yeah, your team just needs to not feed. And you would have held that point for like way longer. Their demo dies again. Jesus.
I think he died every time we started.
You can play aggressive. Where's that sniper? Somewhere. Oh, he's in pocket. No pyro, no soldier. Their flank's open. Your flank goes behind. I want to see coordination.
Yeah, I called for flank to come in because I killed soldier and Skull was chasing me.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, in that situation, your team needs to be aware that they're gonna go for your med. So either your med plays closer to your combo, or your combo plays further back and protects your med. As their med died because your team cleaned them up. So now they have ads. Yeah. I'm not sure how the sniper is allowed to sit on China. Like your spy should be on top of that, unless he just spawned.
I just spawned.
Okay. But yeah. What I'm gonna suggest is wait for your team to do stuff before going in. So now they have Uber, you're about to get Uber, so you can wait for this Uber. And then you can exchange. Or it looks like you go for a sack wave. You don't need to go for a sack. You're getting... you got a few kills, which is fine enough. I guess it works. Okay, now they're just feeding. But yeah, like that's fine in that situation. You got kills, and you got a force out of it. Jesus, okay.
I didn't even know they used at that point. What the fuck?
Your
I forced them
med
Revolvers.
dies. How does your med die? Wait, what? Your team goes in for a sack wave. You get a bunch of kills, you get a force, and your med dies?
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Okay. Oh, you're on.
Our control point.
Wait, you're on crit? What? Okay. If you're on crits, the best way to use it is not to sit on cliff and go for a force. You can literally force them by just firing a single sticky at them. So what I would do if I were you is your demo walks through main, charges up a sticky, says use, and then you fire into pocket. Because what should happen is your spy calls, hey, their med's in pocket. Okay, the med's in pocket. Okay, pre-aim, you fire sticky. Guarantee you, if they are not calling where your demo is, or if no one on their team is calling that your battery is correct, you'll either get a bunch of kills or you'll force them instantly. But you get a ton of kills. Jesus Christ, dude. Still crits. Yep. Okay, I'm hoping to see an aggressive crits. I want to see what your spy does. Okay.
Unfortunate timing.
I'm gonna just say this right now. Oh, my cross has gone. Okay. When your team's on crits, I could care less about that sniper. You can call him, but you should be looking at where they're going. If you get a call, they're going cliff, sorry. Your team can reposition themselves to actually use their crits into them, because their med was standing in this corner. And if I knew that, I would have walked across point, used crits, and their med would die 100%. Like, if he's in this corner and you have crits, you can put a sticky behind him, that's it. Like, there's no getting out of that. Everyone else would die. Like, you still have crits, but it's like... yeah, it's so late. Like, you need such an early call of where they're going. And then the second they go cliff, I can stand here and just fire a crit sticky into them. And then the rest of your team can follow up with you and just clean up.
Capture mission ends in 30 seconds.
Any kill you get is perfectly fine here. Their bed dies, sniper dies. Cool. Oh, please don't die. Oh, do people not see stickies? I don't get how their demo doesn't dare hit stickies when there's 3 of them right here. But all you need to do is walk in. But in that situation, that's fine. Every kill you get from here on is perfect. But another problem you guys have is you don't have good focus fire. Like, their demo walks across here and just lives. And in that situation, either your heavy has to pop his head down here and shoot people, or your hit scan classes has to focus fire this individual. Oh my god, he dies again.
Yeah, the demo died every start of the round. It was amazing.
But I'm gonna watch that back real quick. Yeah.
Now available for capture.
Your meg got bombed early, and I want to see what your pyro was doing.
Overtime.
I think I roll out main towards the hub or demo.
There we go. I want to just see. Is everyone waddling? They are. God damn it. Okay, yeah. Don't overextend over here.
Okay.
Because something you need to keep an eye on as a pyro is exactly that. Something that Yahoo does is for like the first second of the mid, he will kind of just see what their soldier does. Same with me, like if I'm the heavy and I don't know if their soldier's gonna bomb my cliff, because some soldiers in Prem will do that, they'll bomb behind my cliff. So sometimes when I roll out, I rev up here and wait a second. Okay, it's not that cool. Because realistically, there's nothing that's gonna really challenge you. Like if their demo is dead every single mid, you can kind of play a lot slower and just play around your team. But in that situation, their soldier bombing in and killing your med and someone else is like entirely down to you. Obviously your scout can be here as well and he can also help you. But another thing as well, your heavy can also play behind point. All crits.
But it would be good if I just took a second to see what happens and then go on. Okay.
There's so many like ways you can play around it. You can still fire your detonator, like behind point.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like we're just too impatient. That's why we feed them, also.
I mean, your team seems to be like you got aggression, but it's like you walk in together. Obviously, your heavy is a merc, so he doesn't walk in all the time. Oh, forward hold. Oh my god. Your number dies. Then med. How's a med die? Okay. Something your demo should try and do is shoot a sticky here. Even I, as a heavy, stand here. Like, the second you're here, you can fire a sticky, like, above this to fire. And if you hit anything, then you can just stand here. And then your heavy can be the one to, like, kind of sack himself in. Obviously, it's a merc, so he doesn't know this. But that's something you can do. If you don't know if anyone's on cliff, like, your demo can pre-fire this. And then the rest of your team can kind of walk in front and then kill this heavy. We're on crits again. We are, cool. Oh my god. This is, yeah, that's scuffed. I'm not sure where the rest of your team was, it's just your med and your demo, but... I would have honestly have just stuck behind point and baited them into your crits. So now we need to force them. What do we do, team? Your sniper's dead, the soldier's dead, they're on crits as well, oh my god. Their med dies. Yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to do when they use crits. Is the second they use your entire team, like, you lost your med and your entire team just sacked it. That's like fucking golden right there. You got a bunch of kills. Even if you didn't kill the med, that would have been perfect. You would have got so many picks that you would have got a point for free. But the med died in that, which is like perfect. And as long as your med doesn't die here, it's... Are they both on crits again? Oh, Uber, okay. They should be on Uber as well. No, they're on crits. Somehow you're building the exact same rate. I'm not sure... Wait. I'm not gonna bother. Okay, yeah, that can't happen. I'm not sure what what this heavy's looking at, but okay. But something I'm gonna say for your pyro, you don't have to sit in pocket all the time. You can play like behind point. If your med dies in pocket, it's either up to your med and heavy's fault, or literally the rest of your team. Obviously, you can go spy check the entire area, sure, whatever. Okay, they use crits, your med dies. Yeah. That's why I don't like sitting in pocket when they have point. Because of exactly that. What? Okay.
This got beefed so much on the heavy. What the fuck?
I don't
Yeah,
think you're-
I have a problem with staying in pocket. I've been trying to like get out the habit of doing that and move around more.
Yeah, because it's like, I understand it's this constant like...
Yeah, I'm
Go
afraid
with
of med. Yeah.
It's the urge.
But
of
it's
open
also
play.
like, if your heavy plays cliff when you have point,
Yeah.
in no chance of hell, if they are not touching point whatsoever, they're not pressuring it because maybe your demo is just annihilating them on point, there is no excuse for your heavy to just sit here and fire every now and then and just stare. Like, even top prem heavies will do exactly what I'm doing, they just stare. Okay, what are we doing, team? We feeding? Oh, okay. That would have been perfect. Again, I know he's a merc, but I'm just using him as a good example. If your team wants to drive fight like normally and just walk across and play super aggressive, if your soldier can bomb in or your spy can go in, and then the rest of your team walks in together, that would have been fine. But your heavy went in super, super late, which is not good. You have a sniper pick. We can just pressure a point, we don't have to use. You got a lot of picks, we really don't need to... Oh, we're on crits again? They're on crits? What is this? What? Okay. I really wish this HUD would tell me if you're on crits or not, but... We can do a forward hold, please. Oh my god, yes. Cool.
Yeah, our team
Or
tends
we-
to do it a lot when we're doing well. We end up forward holding.
I mean, that's perfect.
Pie on aggression, basically.
Yeah, our main call is being aggressive, so we end up doing this a lot.
Your demo is going on an adventure.
Yeah, he's as I said, our main call likes being very very aggressive.
I mean, your soldier, like this is fine. Like, your demo doesn't do it like alone. Someone else always comes with. It reminds you of Joe. Like, Joe does a lot of things by himself, and you look at him and you're like, how the fuck does he get away with it? But people just don't expect it. But this aggression is perfect. Like, you're doing forward holds like near perfect, because you're rotating to where they're going. The only thing that I want to see is another team go grass, and then I want to see what your team does. But
I remember.
Are
Fuck.
both teams on crits? Okay, crits. Where's your med? Crits. Oh my god, dude. Is this like the fucking meta?
I actually don't know why we didn't switch off.
Oh, it's the open meta. You gotta match your medigun.
It reminds me of an RGL official in invite. Both teams ran crits for the entire duration of the match.
Perma
It was
crits for
fun.
both teams.
Yeah, it was. Dude, it was so much fun. Like seeing both teams do it was amazing. But the problem is, I'm gonna say this for like next time. When you want to just pressure point, and this is the thing, your demo needs to understand this. If you just want to pressure point, and you don't want to use, don't go cliff. If you're doing a sack wave, sure, whatever. But by default, always go main. It's just, your med can play max beam, and if someone wants to get to a med, they either have to bomb really fucking high in the sky. Okay. And then it's super obvious for your team. If they want to use crits, it's super obvious because their demo is like leading the charge. But the problem is, if your med stays pocket, your med can't see shit. If they use crits and they're like, if this was a much better team, their demo will go this side and just use crits over here, which I think they did like once or twice. I can't remember, but you guys can fight this. No sniper, no heavy, no scout. Just walk in, walk. But yeah, anytime you want to dry fight, default main. It's so much easier for your med to live, and you can also, like, as a pyro or heavy or whatever, you can get heals here. And it also makes your sniper really difficult. How the fuck did you? Okay, never mind. I just realized you can jump up this.
We're still going. Keep quiet. Shh.
Yeah.
Uh,
We both on crits. Oh, Uber. Crits. Oh, they use Uber. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, when they have crits, your soldier got. Oh no, I shouldn't demo. Whenever they have crits like that, you want to try and either get as many kills as possible, or your med plays max beam when they're about to get Uber, and then when they use, you're making back out. But that was a good use from them, so. Your med plays behind point, which is fine. Your sniper's dead and your demo's dead. This is really rough. I want to see what your scout does. He's alone on point. I'm not sure why the rest of your team's not walking in. And your med dies. Are they still on crits? Why would they use? What? Okay, and then med dies. Okay. Your soldier goes in. Yeah, I mean, you guys are playing pretty well. There are like obviously like a few small things where this heavy just isn't walking in when he should be, but obviously there's a few times where that soldier just bombs in and kills your med, but yeah, I mean, apart from that, that was pretty good. I felt like one of the biggest problems you have as a team is you feed when you don't need to, but when you have momentum rolling, that's exactly like the biggest problem you guys have, is just you feed. And it's just a matter of realizing you don't need to just take random fights. obviously, if you die to a spy or fucking sniper, that's a different story. Like, either their sniper wasn't called, or you peek the sniper sight line when it's called. Like, there is.
Hey, it's all for the logs. It's okay.
But apart from that, try pushing through main a few more times.
Okay.
So that's all I'm really gonna say. I definitely like the aggression though. Like that aggression you guys are doing, I think in officials against worse teams will just dominate. Like obviously there's a few times where your demo kind of overextends and there's like a hide and heavy. So obviously that's just a good play by the heavy to be in a weird position. But apart from that, like you guys are doing pretty well. Like when their flank goes behind, like you have 3 people just chasing that soldier and killing him. You guys are actually playing like a team, and anytime your med dies, you all sack in and you get a bunch of kills, and then suddenly the tides have turned. It's like that's like perfect. So, but apart from that, obviously, I'm this heavy. Kind of would have made you guys win a lot more if he was walking with your team. Like he would walk when your team is already pushed, your demo, your pyro, your scout are dead, and then suddenly he's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna push now. It's like obviously he's a merc, but whenever your team does walk together, I'm assuming your heavy does that automatically. So, but something for your demo to keep in mind is don't always push really far in unless you're calling the aggression, because a lot of times you would walk in to like here and then you get focus fired, or you walk across point like here and then you just die. And there are other times as well where you just peek like a random angle like here, you don't know where the sniper is and then you die to him. Either that's your spy's fault or your team just isn't calling that sniper and you peek it anyway. So those are like small little things for your demo. Apart from that, your team's doing pretty good. I like the aggression. Keep it up. It's fun to watch. So yeah. I've got a lot of people messaging me now. What the
I
fuck?
think if that concludes the demo review, thanks again for the demo review.
That's fine. You guys won, which is fine. Obviously, there are a few like things you can improve on.
Yeah.
But try and not feed,
Okay.
and I guarantee that your times will go from them having like 1 minute on the clock to just having no time on the clock. And
Okay.
that's exactly how, like, when you have ad in that situation, just constantly try and use into them, constantly just keep your ball rolling, and suddenly they have like 0 minutes on the clock, and then there's nothing they can do. Like, you guys have the DM, like 100%. You guys walk in together, your soldier bombs in when your team walks in. If your bed dies, your team just walks in. It's like, it's perfect. Like, that's exactly what you're meant to do as a team.
I mean, you can sense that we do kind of play well together because every time we have more than 3 marks, everything just goes to shit.
Yeah. In that situation, what I would say is try, if you have more than 2 mercs, unless it's like desperate, don't play the scrim. Because it's better if your review is scrim that you have every single one of your team members there. And then it's like you learn something from the scrim. So like if your heavy was actually there in that scrim, it would have been fine. Obviously, it's a lot rougher to kind of review scrims like that, but it's looking promising, honestly. Like you guys have huge potential.
Yeah, you're fine. We finished with the